This is APAB Calculus. We are doing Intro to BC, topic number 4, which is Euler's method. So we're doing example 2 from the packet now. This is another non-calculator one because the level of numbers you're going to see are fairly accessible. A lot of times you'll see a 0.1 as a step for an Euler's method because that's so accessible to just move the decimal one place. So anyway, I set up my usual table. So I'm given that f of 1 is 6. So that means my first point is 1 comma 6. I'm given that dy dx, which is the way I'm going to approximate my slope, is x plus y over 2. And I'm given that the step size is a 0.1. So the next step in my table will be 1.1, because that's 1 more than 1. And the next step in my table will be 1.2. Notice that that's the final answer they want. They want the y value I'm going to get in that third row of my table. It's pretty common that you're only asked to do Euler's method twice, like 2 steps of Euler's method, if you're doing it by hand. I could see them asking for 3. Anything more than that would be a little bit ridiculous. On a calculator section, they could ask for a few more steps since you'd have a calculator available to help you with the calculation. So let's go ahead and walk through my Euler's method. Right, so my slope is going to be x, which is 1, plus my y over 2, which would be 6 over 2, or 3. So the slope here is a 4. What that means is that my new y is going to be the old y, 6, plus my slope, 4, times a 0.1. Well, that's going to be a 6 plus a 0.4, so that's a 6.4, and that's what I mean by saying that 0.1 is a pretty accessible step, because most of us can math that way pretty easily, so 6.4. I'm going to do the same step here, right? So my x is a 1.1, my y is going to be 6.4 divided by 2. Well, it's a 3.2, because again, I'm going to point out that's pretty accessible math, so I get that my slope is a 4.3. So now my new y is going to be the 6.4, the old y, plus a 4.3 times a 0.1. I'm going to give myself a little bit of room to work, but I am going to point out that yet again, this is pretty accessible math, right? 6.4 plus a 0.43, even if you have to line it up, and if you're that person, if you're like, hey, I feel better, then please do, because you don't want to get this wrong because you added wrong, and you get a 6.83, and that's our final answer, right? So my final answer is that f of 1.2 is approximately a 6.83. Cool beans?